Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Forex market outlook. We're going to have a little look at currency strength and weaknesses and what we can take from that. So we can clearly see here the dollar has completely dipped into an extreme area. We've lost 5 places this week, and we know that on the charts. We can see a lot of the charts change in trend for the dollar, so really seeing that weakness coming through just through there. Also, to kind of add things to this, we can see that the yen is weakening, so it's almost like the safe haven currencies. So if I just put safe here, safe haven currencies are starting to devalue and lose strength, and the risk currencies are starting to gain a little bit of value. So that means to me that we could see the likes of the stocks rallying. We could see the Australian dollar rally again, Aussie at an area of extreme. So looking at that, we could see almost Aussie US dollar, Aussie yen start to rally. We also have the Swiss franc, which is extremely strong at that +6 area as well. So it could be a bit of an extreme going on here. So maybe the Australian dollar is going to gain some value, but we'll have a little look at that in a little bit more detail. First thing I want to start with is the Dow, and the reason I'm going to start with this is because typically this is how we look at assessing risk in the market. Typically when the stock markets fall, we call that risk off sentiment. When the stock markets rally, we call that risk on. And typically in these areas here, let me just put that into here, risk off. And typically when we see these types of markets, we look for risk currencies to gain value, safe haven currencies to lose value. In the risk off sentiment, we look for the risk currencies to lose value, and safe havens to gain value. Now we're back in potentially risk on mode, and I say that because price has recently broken and formed a new higher high on the daily time frame on the stock market. So that to me means that we could be looking for longs on pullbacks, and price has pulled back into a key area of structure. So if I just grab a rectangle tool and go out like this, this could be an area where price starts to push back up, even if it's only into these previous structure highs just through there. So if I go to that 4-hour time frame, we can see at the moment price is starting to form a little bit of a reversal setup with regards to a sort of an inverse head and shoulders pattern where price dips in, moves up, left shoulder, head. Are we going to see this right shoulder pattern come into play? So this area is going to be key. Okay, so this is where I'm going to look for price to either continue that risk on. If it does, I'm going to look for a break above these highs here and a retest. If we start moving back and seeing this happen, then we're going to move into that risk off sentiment, and we're going to look for the risk currencies to lose value. But at the moment, everything's saying that we should be looking for the reversal, should be looking for risk on to come back in, and looking for longs on stock markets. And the daily time frame is kind of confirming that here as price comes back into that support. So going to Aussie US dollar, for instance, this is saying that maybe we should be thinking about long opportunities. Price obviously come back into here on the weekly time frame. Was expecting a bit more downside here, but instead it started to react and potentially forming a higher low just through here. Going to that daily time frame, price, you can see lots of reaction from this zone. Once again, the 4-hour time frame as well has changed cyclicity, coming back in, forming new highs. So if price continues to form new highs and breaks higher, then I'm expecting that risk on to continue. I'm expecting the dollar to get weaker. I'm expecting the Australian dollar to get stronger, and potentially for price to continue to rally up and break towards this key high here around about 7,350, 7,360. That's where I'm expecting Aussie to go if we continue that uptrend through there. So really looking for potential of risk on this week. Another chart that we can look at, which is quite similar to the Dow, is Aussie yen. weekly to come back down into these lows through here. Typically Aussie yen follows the stock markets quite similar. The only difference is really that we've seen recently is that price has sort of not followed the complete plan. So if I actually just toggle these charts, let me just get rid of these charts just here, and if I go to window, tile vertically, we can put the two screens together. Now typically when we do see the downside in the stock markets, we typically see the same here on Aussie yen. So you can see from around about the 3rd of September, price has started to move lower on the stock markets. Here around about the 3rd of September, we started to get that drop on Aussie yen as well. The only difference is here price has made a new high. So around about the 12th of October, price made a new high, which is this here on Aussie yen. Price has dipped lower back towards these lows, whereas the Dow has actually found support at previous structure points now. So it could be the fact that price could start pushing from here, giving us an opportunity to look to buy Aussie yen this week if the price continues to push to the upside. So some things to consider here. Mainly looking at that risk on, risk off play this week. Keep an eye on your Dow Jones. Hope you enjoyed the video update. Hope you have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.